Hello and welcome to another part of How to Play, which is a how to play series on off-meta champions because you're not going to find guides many other places. This time it's Jungle Thresh. We haven't done one for him before, although we have got a small clearing mini guide on the channel as well. If you would like a proper formal guide like the old ones for AD Thresh and all that, do let me know because I'd love to do that. It might not be the best thing and I don't do it in ranked, but god, it's fun to do. So if you guys want that, let me know in the comments below and I'll be sure to get to work. So I was just doing the usual checking around the match history before the new patch hits so I can get whatever replay commentaries I need to get recorded. And I found this one, which apparently went extremely well for me. So I thought we'll talk about how to play Thresh jungle whilst I'm doing extremely well, rather than when I'm feeding. I don't think I've had a game. At least I haven't had many at all. Maybe 1, 2 at most. Games where I actually feed on Jungle Thresh. There's games where I play suboptimally, but never feed. His jungle clear isn't nearly as bad as you think it is. So let's start here and let's look at the clear. I've turned chat off because I don't know what goes on and I don't want to be distracted by that. But we start off with red. We usually start on the bot side because you get more help from your bot. Sometimes you can go blue, but think about it strategically before you commit to anything like that. Sometimes I feel peer pressured to tank it, and I actually end up taking a lot more damage sometimes, purely because I'm tanking it for my team. This is usually when I have like a melee support or something. But if you are confident in your bot lane, then you can go ahead and kite it like normal, and then hopefully they won't take some damage because some people can get really pissy about that. And in a normal game, I don't want people getting pissy because people love getting pissy. Now, we go to wolves. So you always want to go, let's say if we're on the blue side. So blue, grump, wolves, red, or red, wolves, blue, grump. That's going to get you a level 3 with just these 3 camps, blue, wolves, and grump. And you want the red buff as well. Red buff is also going to give you health regeneration and of course the burn damage and the slow, which is going to help you kite some of these jungle monsters, especially blue buff, like crazy. So as you can see, we kite the enemy between each attack, and sometimes, which we're going to see with blue buff, as we cross over here, you're going to notice that I will take 3 attacks, or rather I'll stop and do 3 attacks. So 1, 2, 3, kite. And this means that the blue buff did 2 attacks and I did 3. This is what you'll do all the time on melee champions, but I only do it when I cross over the blue buff as Thresh because I have to be in melee range for that anyway. Otherwise, then we do take advantage. I kind of misplay here, but we do take advantage of the range by kiting a lot more. We also, you don't have to do this, but I lead the blue buff over to Grump so I can play both of them at the same time. With Grump, you want to... Let's go back on that, sorry. With Grump, you want to auto-attack, back away, auto-attack, back away. Because normally, the Grump is going to hit you twice for every one of your auto-attacks. When you back away between each auto-attack against Grump, you're going to make sure that you are both doing 1 attack per attack. And then when it slows down and the attack speed burst that Grump starts with goes, it's going to be back to like every 2 of your attacks to every 1 of Grump's. Our health is pretty low, but that's why we smite the Grump. With that, we can start thinking about the crab that spawned. Except it hasn't, because it got taken by Udyr. That's because we were really slow, and we could have looked for that between them. And I probably need more knowledge of jungle camp's experience, because it keeps changing. I sit here with the low health gangplank, I'm not sure why, and then start recording. It looks like we don't get a kill on the feed either. Remember, apparently this game goes extremely well, so let's see how that turns out. Currently, 16 CS to Udyr's 28, so it's not looking good. Okay, but don't be worried, you're going to have slower clears than basically everyone else in the game except Zillion, so that's fine. The first item you want is Berry Cinder. That's why we've actually went for Ruby Crystal rather than going for even Machete. Because Berry Cinder is just that quintessential to playing Jungle Thresh, which is a horrible thing to do. That just shows how kind of gimmicky he is. We throw our control ward in bot lane's Tribush, that's fine by me. And then we also try to squeeze in here, just waiting for that melee minion to give us an opening here, so we can get to here. We also hide in Senna's Shroud, walk up and see if we can get anything here. I believe I'm going to land the hook on Morgana, I was going to say miss it. So I didn't tell Senna to do that, by the way. She just kind of did the thing on her own, and I quite appreciated that. We get some damage done, but ultimately not much more than that, though we do get a couple of souls, and that's nice and tasty. This has given a bit of pressure to the enemy to our bot lane, sorry, on the enemy bot lane, which is going to put Morgana a little bit behind, meaning that she can't go as aggressive on these little trades here. After that, oh wow, he disconnected. I did not know that. We tried to go in on a follow-up, but nothing comes of it. So we recall. Because now we have Bami Cinder. There it is. That's a lot of reconnections. So during that time, Krug's actually come back up. That was not an efficient use of time. But we did show a bit of pressure, which gave our bot lane the chance to recall, get a BF sword, etc. And they were a little bit at a disadvantage, and we've somewhat alleviated that by preventing the enemy from farming too much. With red buff respawned, we want to get onto that. We were a bit taking a lot of damage there. I think I'm misplaying rather than much else. But with Bami Cinder, we can... Very aggressive Udyr. I had to remember that wasn't my Udyr. But yes, he could just kind of flash through there and we were able to react in time, flay him away, and not die. So that was good. Didn't even burn flash. And then make our way straight to our blue before Udyr tries to invade this one. And I think he will. So we're going to make sure that we get that. We can see him papping around. Because Udyr was so aggressive, I could already tell he was thinking fresh jungle is terrible, so I put a ward there just in case he tries to come around from behind. But we're able to catch him coming in from this way. We're able to smite it, I believe. Yes, we just smited the blue buff, and that got it in time. From there, I'm happy to call it a day, but Relentless is able to go in. And with a nice little bait down here, able to land a hook on him, get a Senna ultimate, which is also going to give bot lane some gold through the assist, and give Relentless a kill. Giving Relentless a kill against this gangplank actually turns out to be an incredible idea. Not idea, but an incredible event, which is going to let him snowball as well. Whilst we're there, we take Gromp, get level 6, get Machete and some boots. You also go for a dagger, because I couldn't afford... Wait, what? Why did I want longsword? Do I build damage this game? Do I build AD this game? We'll see. Usually you'll build Blood Razor because it's just better, to be honest. But you can also go for Warriors. And I'd experimented that with a few games. And although it didn't do terribly, can't help but think taking advantage of the souls with Blood Razor and going tankier is a much better option, especially since you're building Bami Cinder anyway. Okay. Still clearing the jungle. Once you have Bami Cinder, you can feel a lot less shameful about taking the jungle at terrible speeds. Although we are still taking lots of damage, and getting Skirmisher's Saber is going to help that. There we go. Okay, yeah, we got a longsword. We're definitely going AD this game, and that dagger's going to turn into a shard later on. Okay. So yeah, once you get Bami Cinder, like I was saying, especially now that we've got Skirmisher's Saber giving us more sustain, and some dueling options, meaning that Udyr doesn't just kill us, we can use the damage reduction on Red Smite to survive against him, possibly even kill him. Also give some damage on ganks. We can clear as much as we want. Apparently I walked past that ward, I think I remember that. And just standing here like an absolute idiot, whilst Lissandra watches me from the shadows. What's about to happen? There. Her Aftershock is active. Doesn't really matter, those bonuses are gonna go quite soon since I'm frozen for so long. That's fine, she did a lot of damage. Now our Aftershock is gonna kick in, giving us the resistance. That means one auto attack won't kill us, but we do flash immediately out, and she does an amazing flash juke there, by the way. To be honest, he got me. He got me in the replay watching just now as well. But we use our own flash to get away from that, even though I was originally planning to chase. We also get the control ward for our troubles, and Relentless gets a kill on Lissandra. Or does I get the kill? I'm deaf, dumb, and blind. Anyway. Hopefully we can get another game where I spam gank. Like I said, if you want a detailed guide, let me know and I'll play this a bunch more because it's really fun. Maybe even give it a go in ranks. Honestly, it's going so well. It's going ridiculously well. My win rate here might actually be better than my win rate top, but I think that says more about the jungle, the state of the jungle and the state of top lane than it does about Jungle Thresh versus Top Thresh. Okay, so here we've bought Shard. We bought Shard rather early, and that can build rapid fire cannon. I think it's because it's all I could have afforded at that point, as I basically just killed a jungle camp and then taken an assist. We're going to go ahead and take this Mountain Drake, because Mountain Drake does very little damage, very little DPS, and with the attack speed we've got on Shard, you could also see how we were moving there, by the way. We've mentioned it before, where you move in straight lines between auto attacks to get as much energized as possible. Also just going to walk across that soul. And then apply some pressure here. Going to sit in this bush, recall, in case the enemy can see. If they can see this, then they might assume that will be gone in no time. That lets us land a hook on Jhin. Hook him in. The CC lock is enough for send him to land W. Even Jinx chompers get deployed, although he is dead before we ever need them. And bam, Jinx ultimate is able to wipe out the Morgana through the Black Shield because Black Shield does nothing. Udyr is going to stare aggressively at us, hoping we'll leave the tower alone. At this point, with me and my Demolish, the shard damage, by the way, I could be sidestepping here, but I was trying to look stupid, so Udyr came at me. I think that's my thought process there. Which obviously, you know, trickery works only a few times, and less times the higher skill the enemies are. It's always fun. I'm main Yoshimitsu in Tekken. Anyway. Apparently I had to think about what I just done to those Krugs, and then walk over to the Raptors. We haven't been back for a while, and we did just get a lot of gold bot lane. From the assist, from the gank, we always got a mastery emote. This is the one reason you need a mastery emote. It's for when you miss hooks like that. Now, Lux is kind of behind Lissandra, and I remember that she didn't feel too good about that. But luckily we were able to suppress Lissandra quite a bit, and her ganks became less and less threatening the longer the game went on. Just full clearing the jungle. Now that we've got the Skirmish Saber, we're going to get quite a bit of sustain. And then Barry Cinder's easily going to push this. And we push this because Lissandra goes bot. Lissandra going bot was a terrible decision. Lux decides to go bot as well, which I guess is fine because me and Rexon are definitely able to push this. And we'll go for the next one as well. As Lux goes to support these guys, and Lissandra's gank failed, by the way. What did I tell you? He can't even deal with two people. Because that Jinx is 6-1. Getting the turret gold for Jinx has also helped, and clearly, remember what I said earlier game with reducing some of that pressure, reducing some of that kill potential the enemy team had, and harass potential even. Nice. Didn't actually use the box, but I guess it prevented him from walking away. Whatever good that would have done him. Either way, the CC chain and the burst damage that our Renekton has with his very high AD build is going to do wonders. Energize, of course, also still early mid-game. Energize magic damage is still fairly significant because most people haven't built magic resist yet. You can see he's built Lucidity, Triforce, no magic resist at all. So, wonderful. Wonderful combo. I was saying something about Jinx, but I completely forgot. Oh yeah. Our early ganks, even though we didn't get kills early on, did do something. Although definitely, of course, I'm not saying it's all my good. But we helped this good Jinx shine, is what I'm trying to say. Now we go for the dragon. With our team's damage, the enemy can't do anything. Except steal the dragon. Oh boy, I love commentary. But he's going to die for that. We're going to be able to flash out. Wants a lantern, Renekton out, and we do. So, dragon for Udyr's life, which is a fair trade. Fair trade. It's a good smite. You know what? With all the dragon steals I did in Jungle Thresh EXE, which came out, I'm going to say yesterday, I'm going to upload this tomorrow, or today, as you guys can see. I did quite a few dragon steals there, so I guess I have to take some in return at some point. Now, towards mid-game, it can be, even during early game, it could be weird to understand what you have to do. You do have to do your initial jungle clears to get level 3, which gets you close to getting Bamicinda, but then if you get a gank and a kill, you'll definitely have Bamicinda, and then a couple of assists will get you Bamicinda, crabs will get you Bamicinda. And that's your goal. Once you have Bamicinda, you can start clearing. After 20 minutes, you can start pushing side waves as well. If your team isn't already doing that, or someone better suited. Sometimes you're better suited, but it's really good to understand when that is. Like, maybe your vulnerable AD carry shouldn't be doing it when you've got some tank items. You're much more threatening to the enemy team and much less easy to duel, especially for assassins and stuff. But yeah, so early game, before Bamicinda, mostly ganking, but you do want to farm. You do want to take the things that you can, play smart, get the bottom crab when the enemy jungle is top, etc. Get things like that, get assists, and if not all else fails, just farm the jungle, you can do it. Thresh jungle is not that terrible. It's bad, it's just not that terrible. I say it's bad, but we're 206 by the way. Okay. Let's talk about the items real quick. So we bought Warriors, which is not normal, and I don't recommend it in the guide. But because we've got Warriors, we can quite happily go for Rapid Fire Cannon. Rapid Fire Cannon is also going to help us take Gangplank battles, but I don't recommend like building that as a counter strategy or anything like that. Okay. So, for those not yet unlicensed, AD and Rapid Fire Cannon go hand in hand because AD, the ratio on his E is 200% of your total attack damage. As magic damage, trying to save Jinx here. We kill Slay the Witch. Looks like Jin's hunger for the Lissandra means he didn't shoot me, meaning Morgana had no chance of getting me. We'll talk about the Rapid Fire Cannon in a bit. And then bam, with all of them dead, that's us able to push, hopefully, onto this inner turret here. Inhib turret. So, with your 200% total AD ratio, it applies on your next auto attack. Nice hook. Nice orange. He didn't do it. But the downside of it is he has 450 range. Used to be 475, got nerfed. This means it's ridiculously hard to apply, and if you're building lots of AD to scale it, which you usually want to be, then you're never going to land it safely, and you'll usually die, and you're really squishy because of all the AD you bought, and it's horrible. What you can do is build Rapid Fire Cannon to increase range to 600, making it significantly safer. 150 range might not sound like much, but it really... It's the difference between getting, like... Oh, it's the difference between life or death, really. We're now 3-0-11. We're not very flashy. We aren't getting many kills. We're definitely getting no pentakills, but we're doing a lot of good around the map. Pushing the inner turret, and we get a bit greedy here. Enemy team is not quite that high level, which is going to mean that they do not have high respawn times. With Udyr still dead, we go and ahead and call this Baron here. And we're pretty much able to get it uncontested because the enemy team is very weak. They're lower in level. Their AD carry is unfed, whereas ours is very fed. Bam. With this, the game is basically set. We will come here to just push out that lane and also get some souls. Never stop soul farming, even if you're at a huge advantage and it's like, oh, this last team fight will crush it. If you can get farm, get it. Next I'm going very in there. And then we join in. Still, lots of damage being done considering it was like an absolute definition of a yeet. The enemy team has to come crawling back to defend. Unable to do much against these Baron minions. And here we are going to have one last team fight. Hook the Lissandra. She will Zonias and probably ult afterwards. But unfortunately not fast enough. Down she goes, down they go. The Jinx rockets go everywhere and shred everything in sight. And that is a game of 3-0-14 Jungle Thresh. And I hope you've enjoyed. If you want to see more, and of course if you want to see a guide for Jungle Thresh, which might not be ranked viable, it's still really fun if you for me to make, and it will be fun for you to play if you are interested, and it's a lot more fun if you know what you're doing, so a guide can definitely help. If you want to see that, put a comment below, and if you want to see when that comes out, go ahead and hit subscribe and ring the notification bell. You can also follow me on Twitter and Twitch, because I'm going to be streaming at some point in the very near future. It's already basically set up, I just need to do some more things, and a test stream. Which is going to happen at some point. That will be completely unannounced, so there's less people. But then the next stream that follows, which is actually going to be a bit bigger, at least I hope so, I will try to advertise as much as possible. But yeah, follow me on Twitch and Twitter. They're going to be at the end screen and in the description below. Once again, be sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell to know when any kind of guide comes out. Comment if you want a guide, and also look forward to the other content as well. For fans of Kassadin, there's one coming out tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. Please enjoy Jungle Thresh EXE if you haven't already, and if you're coming from there, welcome. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.